Hi everyone, I hope you all are doing good. My name is CS Harshdeep Singh Narula. Welcome back to my YouTube channel and please do subscribe. In this video we are going to discuss about startup registration process in India from scratch, how to build your startup, how to register your startup from scratch, and we will discuss each and every step from registering a company, from getting your startup registration certificate done. And now, first of all, beginning with the process, beginning with every step or any step, we will discuss what are the startups, what is the definition of startups, and why startups are becoming so popular in India, and why you should choose to register your startup right now, and what makes it attractive. We will begin with what are startups. So in layman's language, if you're starting any new business, for example, you're starting your restaurant, you're starting your cart, you're starting any other business, they call themselves as a startup. However, this is not in the case of Startup India. Under Startup India, if you are recognized as DPIIT Startup, then only you are a startup. So this means what are the startups? We are done with this. Now we'll discuss why startups registration, why they are becoming popular in India. So recently, specifically after Shark Tank India, they are becoming very popular. Before that, with the government of India schemes, they were becoming as usually popular. And to compete with our fellow countries, like for compete with the China, compete with other countries, you should get into the startups right now. And they are very attractive right now because right now in India we are literally competing with every other country, and we have to get our businesses registered and make them look attractive so that investors get attractive, our buyers get attractive, other stakeholders get attracted, and they invest in our startup, they invest every bit in our time or money in our startup. So this was all a little definition about the startups. Now we will begin with the scratch. How to register a startup? So for registering a startup under Startup India, DPIIT, a startup can only be, what kind of businesses can be registered as startup? We'll discuss that first. Only a private limited company or an LLP or a registered partnership firm can be registered as a startup. So what is a private limited company? A private limited company which is registered as a private limited company with MCA, or an OPC or a producer company. They can also be part of a private limited company. An LLP, a limited liability partnership firm registered with MCA. Sorry. What is registered partnership firm? A registered partnership firm is a firm which is registered with registrar of firms. So what is not included? Only these things three are included: private limited company, LLP, and registered partnership firms. Public companies are not included. Nidhi companies, societies, they cannot be registered as startup. LLPs can, however, an unregistered partnership firm cannot be registered as a startup. A partnership firm has to be registered with registrar of firm. For example, if you are from Delhi, your partnership firm should be registered with registrar of firms Delhi. If you are from Haryana, then it should be registered with ROF Haryana. However, registering a startup in India, like we are discussing about the process, I do not recommend registering as registered partnership, because there are many hurdles and hassles in registering your business as a partnership firm and further getting it registered with ROF. There could be online process, there could be offline process, there could be many hassles changing the partnership, the agreements and everything. So I recommend only one thing right now, that is register yourself as a private limited company. You should give the most preference to that, because 90% of the businesses today, 90% of the startups are private limited companies. If you're giving preference to any other thing, then private limited companies, give it to the LLPs. However, LLPs are my second choice, but we will discuss only for the private limited company in this video. So now we will begin with, first of all, to get a startup register, you need a private limited company. Now we will discuss it how to register a private limited company first. We are going to discuss three topics in this: to register a business as a private limited company, to make a business profile on Startup India, and to register yourself as startup under Startup India DPIIT. We were discussing with the incorporation of private limited company. For that, first of all, you need to think a name and the business object. What is the name? You can give two names preference wise. For example, ABC, BAC. First of all, you have given two names. Now you will think what the business you are doing. You already know what the business you want to do, so you know the business objects. So you will give a short description to your consultant. You will give two names preference wise, that is maximum two names. You can also give one name. For example, I am giving one name, ABC, and I want to do the business of clothing. I told my consultant that my name is AB, I want ABC Private Limited, I want to do clothing business. So now if your name is unique, then your consultant will file Part A application that costs ₹1,000 government fees. And if it's not unique, for example, however, if it is unique, then you can save your 1,000 rupees by filing Part B application directly and instead of reserving your name. Now we will say that there are like 145 crore people in India, and there are many similarities in private limited company names. So we'll say that the name is not that unique and there are some similarities. We will file Part A application with ₹1,000 fees. After reserving the name, we will begin with Part B application. Under Part B application, there are typical 5 forms. First one is SPICE form, second is Agile Pro, third is MOA, then AOA, then INC 9. We will discuss and explain what documents are required for these forms, what information is required, and what these forms are. So the very main form, that is SPICE form. This is main application of company incorporation. What the documents are required for this majorly? First of all, for the all directors and subscribers, we need their PAN and Aadhaar, passports, email ID and phone number, and bank statements, latest bank statements. Like bank statement is for your residence proof, Aadhaar and passport is for your ID proof, identity proof. We'll move further. What information is required? Other information and documents are required. We require a utility bill of your registered office address premises. That is latest utility bill. It should not be older than 2 months. Then we will discuss that what other information is required in this. So when we are talking about the other information required, we'll say we need email and phone number of your company, registered office address of your company. We need like business objects of the company. We'll need registered office address, utility bill, the electricity bill of the registered office address. It should not be older than 2 months. Then we need to know the nearest police station of the registered office address. We need to know the authorized share capital of the company and paid up share capital of the company. What is the authorized share capital and what is the paid up share capital of the company? After that, we need that how the shares, how will be the share divide ratio, like is it 50-50, 30-70, 60-40 or what else? It depends upon your mutual understanding. Then no objection certificate, that is NOC. NOC will be created by your consultant and will be signed by the owner of premises of registered office address. Other information required is highest education qualification of the directors and subscribers, then place of birth of directors and subscribers, then how directors or subscribers are currently working. Are they homemaker, are they teacher, are they businessman, serviceman? You have to tell that as well. Then you have to tell that since how many years the directors or subscribers are living at their current residence address. You have to provide these information for each and every director and subscriber. So once you have provided this, make sure to keep this information handy so that there should not a problem for your consultant, like getting it one by one and missing out the information. Even if you miss out the information, for example, you have provided all the information and you just forgot to give one Aadhaar of one subscriber, then all the forms have to be filed again by your consultant, which will cost him or her like 4 to 5 more hours, and that is much labor work for us, literally. So moving further, we discussed what is Part B application, first form, and what documents are required, what information is required. The other information which is of like legal nature or whatever nature will be provided by your consultant itself. Then it is Agile form. Second form is Agile. Under Agile, you can apply it directly for GST. If you do not want, you can say no, that we do not want the GST. Then you can apply other registrations under it as well. And you can also apply for the bank account as well. For example, you want to open your bank account with PNB Bank or HDFC or ICICI. You can select there, and after company incorporation, you will get a call from them because already MC has submitted those documents on your agreeing that you want the HDFC Bank. and then they will call, they'll bring the application, they'll get it signed, and your bank account will be opened. If you see, while filing it, if you think that you have filed HDFC Bank, later you think I want Axis Bank, then say no to them and go to the Axis Bank. That's your choice totally. There is no compulsion. If you have selected HDFC, then you have to open HDFC. That's not a compulsion. Third form is MOA, that is main business objects of the company. You have to give a description to your consultant that what business are you going to do in this, and your consultant will prepare main business object and ancillary business objects of your company. Then there is articles of associations. Articles of associations are bylaws of the company. Like as a citizen of this country, we some laws are applicable. However, some laws are applicable to us, and other laws, extra laws, are applicable to our companies. Those are to make it stringent, to make it strict, to make it work fine. Those are called bylaws. Now the fifth form is INC 9, that is declaration by the subscriber. Like you are not disqualified, you are competent, you are of a sound mind, etc., etc. So this is the information. If you now you will click on submit and file, sign the application and file it. If all the documents are proper, all the information is proper, you will receive certificate of incorporation. However, if there is a problem, you receive objections and you have to file reply to those objections, and then you will receive certificate of incorporation. After you have received a certificate of incorporation, now you have to do two more things, which we will not discuss in this video, because this video is particularly about startup registration process in India. So in the beginning we discussed that we will discuss three things in this video. The first thing was incorporating a private limited company. The second was we are done with that. Now the second thing is make a brief profile of your company, of your startup on Startup India website. Make sure to make a proper brief profile so that your Startup India registration brief profile is approved by admin. So how to make it proper? Make sure to write proper name, make sure to write email, website, make sure to write your proper bio, explain it. If you can't explain it, tell your consultant to write it for you, they will do it. And then write SIN of your company and submit, and see, they will ask at what stage you are, what are your requirements, what do you expect from this Startup India registration. They will ask these questions as well. Then click on submit. If it's correct, it will be approved by the admin. Now we have created a private limited company, we have got our profile our business profile approved with the Startup India. Now the third process is log into your Startup India profile, go to the DPIIT section, apply for DPIIT Startup India recognition. Now for that, this is the main thing we were discussing in this video. Now for that, what documents are required, what information is required, we will discuss that. So you just have incorporated a company, so you have most of the documents with you, like almost all the documents apart from the 5 questionnaires we are talking about and the pitch deck we are talking about. You might not have that. To begin the process, you have to have email and phone number of the company, fill it there, then fill the SIN of the company, name of the company, and how many directors are there. If you have 2 or 3, fill that, then fill their name, address, email and phone number, then fill the information of the authorized signatory, who will be the authorized signatory, who will sign this application. Then after that, put the product details, website link and etc. Now they will ask at which stage your startup is currently. Is it at beginning ideation stage, or is it at some mid stage, or is it at some very stage like you are running the startup from past 5 years? So you will select out of those 4 stages. After that, they will ask the very first question. We will say that this is first question of part A. We will say that in this video. They'll ask, is the startup creating a scalable business model with high potential of employment generation or wealth creation? I'll read it out again. Is your startup creating a scalable business model with high potential and employment generation or wealth creation? They are saying that your startup, which you are going to get registered with us, is it creating some scalable business by which the economy will be benefited, or will you generate the employment, or will you generate wealth by which you will pay taxes and the economy will be benefited? So they want the economy to be benefited by your startup. Only if you will answer this, only then they will think to register your startup and give you the startup registration certificate. If you are unable to prove it, then if you are unable to put the remarks or brief of it, then ask your consultant will prepare the brief of it, a short brief. After, they'll ask your business description. Then they'll ask, have your startup received any funding? So there will be two options. Have it received funding? You'll say yes or no. If yes, then you will put from whom. And second option is bootstrap, like you have funded your startup yourself with the help of you or your friends or your money or whatever the case may be with the close people. Then they'll ask that, have your startup received any recognition or award? If no, then click on no. If yes, then put the details what awards you have already, your company have already received from the in India or otherwise internationally. Then they'll ask, we said that there are 5 questions. One question will say under part A, one question we discussed. Now there are 4 more questions under part B will say. The first question is, what is the problem your startup is solving? You have to tell. They want every bit of your startup to help the economy in every way, to make sure normal people anyone do not get exploited, and everyone should get help from your startup and benefited. They want to get taxes, they want to make sure you are employing people, they want to create wealth, or they want you to solve the problems of the people. So the first question is, what is the problem your startup is solving? If you have it with you, the answer, then good. If you do not, then ask your consultant to prepare it for you. Now the second question, how does your startup propose to solve this problem? The first question of part B was like, what is the problem? Now they are asking, how are you supposed to solve this problem? What steps will you take? Now the third question they are asking, how does your startup, what is the uniqueness? They ask, what is the problem first. Now they are asking, how are you going to solve it? Now they are saying that the problem you are solving, the solution you have, is it unique? What is the uniqueness? Now the fourth question is, what is your revenue generation model? If you do not have any answer to these questions, ask your consultant to prepare it for you and get it done. Now the main documents required, that is pitch deck. Now what is a pitch deck? So a pitch deck is a representation in a PPT form of your company to attract the investors. In pitch deck, there is your business description, product details, competitors, offline competitors, online competitors, market research, market revenue model, market business model, and other many things. Your SWOT analysis, your advantages, disadvantages, merits, demerits, etc., etc., and your phone number, email ID, etc. You need to get it. You need to prepare it. If you are not able to prepare it, then ask your consultant to do that as well. Second thing, if you do not have a pitch deck, then you need a YouTube video to explain your startup. Whatever is explained in pitch deck, you need to explain in that video. You require either of these two, either a YouTube video, or a pitch deck. I'll prefer a pitch deck. It's an easy job to do that. Then you need other documents like letter of authorization. It will be prepared by a consultant, signed by you, authorized by giving authorization to one director by other director. Other documents are like, you need the brochure if you have that, and email ID, or other things like which you already have it while incorporating your company. So no such extra documents are required. If the application is correct, if all the details are correct, and if you have attached a proper pitch deck, like a pitch deck which is like, they think that this is a proper pitch deck and they believe in it, and if you have answered properly to those 5 questions, 1 question in part A and 4 questions in part B, then you will get your startup registration certificate, startup registration number, DPIIT registration recognition within 4 to 5 working days, and that's all. After that, you are done with startup registration, you will receive the startup registration certificate. After that, what other things to do? There has to be motive. You can approach with the seed fund applications, you can approach to the local government, state government, you can attract the investors to invest your startup, you can apply for 80 ISA exemption or 5627B exemption as well. So that was all for the startup registration from very scratch, from very beginning, step by step. If you have any questions regarding Startup India registration or company registration, then please feel free to ask. Please feel free to comment, and I'll be very happy to help you. And there is my email and phone number also mentioned in the description. You can reach me out there as well. Thank you very much.